Welcome in, everybody. This is a Tar-Heeled Herald coming at you with a recruiting discussion. I basically want to just get my thoughts on the 2021 recruiting class, the impact / future of all the recruits, and kind of just a recruiting video in general. Kind of want to talk about how recruiting is going, how recruiting can be in the future, and what our main objective should be looking forward. So to talk about the 2021 class, there's a lot of key components to this class. I mean, it's basically a miracle on how well they did. It just, with the 2020 year that went down, 2021 class couldn't have gone any more perfect, in my opinion. And the reason being is because, most of the guys came from North Carolina. I think, 11 of them at least came from North Carolina. And we got most of the top guys, even 2020. But if you look at North Carolina in general, before, let's say, I think it was like before 2019, 2018, you saw quite fewer talent generating from North Carolina. You saw, if you talk about blue chip top end guys, you only saw like 8 guys coming from North Carolina that everyone in the nation was trying to get. But now you got, since around that 2018, 2019, it's become a much better place for recruiting, and you're seeing more about 12 to 14 guys that could be recruited on a national basis. So to say that we're going to have North Carolina forever doesn't mean that it's going to be a powerhouse, because I hope that North Carolina continues to be a powerhouse, but and popping out recruits, and we dominate North Carolina. That'd be fantastic. But luckily, the year that we needed, the 2 years that we needed to boost our roster and get us going to the next level, that's the years that luckily we had plenty of talent to grab from the state of North Carolina. Now we're putting our grasps on Virginia with Tony Grimes. That was just the kindle to the fire starting to spread in Virginia. Who knows how well we'll do this year in 2022 going forward with Virginia. But technically Tony Grimes was in the 2020 class, but he's supposed to come in 2021 originally. And now it started the fire for 2022, and we've already taken 2 guys in 2022, and we're looking to get at least 3 more guys. I'm pretty sure we're trying to get at least 3 more guys from Virginia, maybe more. So Virginia is a great recruiting ground. I am pretty sure Mac will eventually be able to get back into Texas. I wouldn't doubt it, but as of right now, we have North Carolina locked down, and if it continues to bring out great talent, then Virginia and North Carolina can be just, our hotbed until we need to go any further. And I don't know if we need to, but I'm assuming we can, because I know we got a few guys from Georgia as well, and Georgia's already proven to give us great talent, specifically in the Sewanee area. So we'll see moving forward. But if you want to look at specifically the 2021 class itself, we got 12 guys coming early, 6 coming late, mostly because of basketball, some because they just wanted to finish out senior year. But you got a lot of top end guys here that can be very impactful at first. Who knows? Now, even with this mention earlier of, North Carolina has been the up and ups of, giving talent to, or producing talent. The other thing is that it perfectly came into our lap of everyone who signed with us was almost exactly what we needed. We need depth in linebacker. We need, obviously, just talent in general on the defensive line. So this was a great recruiting class for our defense, while still trying to plug in a few future key holes in offense. We didn't key in on a lot of offense like we did in 2019. So it was almost a perfect class for us. Now we only got 18 guys. I think we're still shooting for the 19th Dante Balfour. We're still shooting for him to make it 19, but otherwise we've got our 18, and it may not be the biggest class in the world, but we also have a ton of people coming back. We didn't have a lot of seniors leave, especially seniors that start. We only lost Chaz Surratt. Seniors that start, we lost Daz Newsome, but we also, of course, lost some skill players. But we still have Sam Howell, and we have a lot of wide receiver depth as of right now, and we got some guys coming in that'll fill some depth. But offense seems to be fine, at least for next year, and I honestly don't see offense really dropping off much in the future. So I think I love the way they're recruiting right now, going heavy on top defensive talent until the defense can catch up before they really go back to heavy offense. I mean, they're still obviously trying. I mean, we're going for offensive linemen, which is what we really need to in 2022. But with the 2021 class, I think, like I said, it was just perfect. Like, we got defensive line, linebackers, we got a few guys in the secondary, and then just, of course, depth for offense. To be honest, it's now QB Drake May is not depth. He's future, but he's also the number 2 overall guy. He's not with the rest of the defensive guys that are just trying to up defense. So with this class, talk about who's the most impactful, maybe beginning. Maybe not necessarily who is going to affect the overall point of view of our defense in the future, but who may hit early. And obviously everyone's going to point their fingers to Silvers. Keyshawn is a 5-star. He's on the bigger side, so if he adds a few more pounds, then probably will be defensive lineman on the interior. Just because I don't know if we're going to continue to have Desmond Evans on the edge with, or if he's going to be more of, or like defensive end, or if he's going to be more of edge rusher / outside linebacker. Who knows how we're going to go forward with it. Obviously, you expect certain things, but when Bateman finally gets some more talent, he may change up a lot of what our defense looks like. Because obviously right now, the last 2 years, he's just been plugging holes. And I'm mostly talking about defensive line has just been causing him to plug in certain players that maybe not supposed to be there. But that's all we got right now. So you may see more true outside linebackers playing true outside linebacker positions, while true defensive ends are being on defensive end. So then maybe we can he may turn into a defensive end. We'll see. It seems like they're probably going to make him a bigger boy and put him on the interior. We'll have to see. But I don't know. I assume we're going to see Silvers the most in the beginning. Let's see, the other people, maybe a safety like Boykins is going to be nickelback. So Deandre Boykins, I think he was the 92, 93 4-star. Boykins is, they said nickelback, and nickelback, now technically I think JQ was playing nickelback with Morrison, but I think now that we have more depth, I think they're going to allow him to go back to being either a safety / dime. I don't know how much dime package we're going to run, but if we run dime, I assume JQ will be in the dime position, because he can do just about everything in the secondary. He's our current Swiss Army knife, but I think they'll want to put him back to safety more. So maybe Boykins if he outdoes Trey Morrison. Otherwise, he'll probably he may get some playing time, but he'll probably be second on the depth chart. While I'm talking Silvers is probably going to be, unless the 2020 class of defensive linemen all stay healthy and all improve more. Again, they didn't have any time to get better or plug into the defense. The COVID year ruined a lot, so you'll see a lot of younger guys finally being able to step up, especially in that 2020 class, but maybe a lot of the 2021 class. So who can Silvers jump over? We'll have to see, because you got KBJ, Kendrick Bingley-Jones, Miles Murphy, you got Pinder, Kamen Rucker. I don't know if he's going to become a true outside linebacker or if he's going to stay on the edge / end. We'll see. Then you got Desmond Evans. There's a lot of guys that... Am I saying that our defensive line is going to be fantastic and just everything we want it to be? No, but we got a lot of guys to get there. We'll have to see. So I still think, as of right now, I would say Silvers has a high chance of playing. Now, linebacker is tough because Gemmell's going to be a senior, so you assume he's going to be starting, at least from day one. Can he be surpassed? Eugene already looks like a stud from the Orange Bowl. So linebacker's a tough one because Gemmell is a senior. He knows he's the quarterback, but talent-wise, Gemmell didn't take any step up. It seems like he's just kind of stagnant. Maybe he can still take a step up. But whether or not I'm saying his job is safe from these freshmen, excuse me, I got the hiccups right now. But whether or not he's safe from getting his job taken from these freshmen, I'm not going to say that, because if Rah or Power comes in and just shows out, then obviously I don't think they're going to be sitting on the bench. Yes, Chaz was great, and Eugene only came in because given some breather, but Eugene wasn't like just stand out. He's going to be great, and I can tell, coming in his junior year, he's going to be fantastic. But I think Eugene has definitely is definitely going to stay in over Gemmell if someone stands out as a freshman. But I don't see right now, unless, as far as I'm aware, Ra is better at coverage than power. If Ra proves to be a talented cover linebacker, then I think he may go in instead of Gemmel at some point, because Gemmel can't cover tight ends very well, especially if he gets stuck on a slot wide receiver. It's game over. He's given up a ton of yardage up the middle, but again, he may improve. Freshmen may not stand out over him, so we'll see. Cornerbacks, I don't see anyone coming in and doing anything right now. You got Tony Grimes, Storm Duck, Kyler McMichael. I mean, Kyler McMichael even may be pushed to the nickelback area, nickelback dime guy. I think he will, because Storm, I mean, he's a great cover guy, which he'll still cover in the nickelback spot. I think that Storm Duck and Tony Grimes are just such great man-to-man guys that you'll probably see Kyler playing other positions. But I think Kyler's too good to be taken out. And so we'll see. I think we have a great secondary. It's going to be hard for anybody new coming in, because I think what we're going to see is more of players playing their true positions next year, which is really going to help. But honestly, offense, anyone coming in, unless Gavo, I know him as Gavo 2 times. I'm trying to remember. Gavin Blackwell, yeah, that's right. The wide receiver, maybe. But I think we have a lot of key guys coming back for our wide receiver room, so I don't see him hitting any impact on year one. I think they might even, well, I don't know if they'll redshirt him. They'll probably redshirt Kobe and JJ, maybe, but we'll see. Offensive line, I don't see Eli coming in and just standing out, because I mean, everybody's coming back from the offensive line. They're going to be gelled. They're going to be, unless he's taken over, who is it? McKeithen's spot, right guard? Is it right guard? Unless he takes over guard, one of the 2 guards, I don't see him starting. Diego looks pretty raw still. He looks great, but he looks raw. Probably going to have to, he might be redshirted. But, so, I mean, there's maybe 2 to 3 guys that might start freshman year, barring no injuries. You never can talk about injuries or what's going to happen next year, so we got to talk hopefully with no injuries, because we thought coming into this year that secondary was going to be fantastic and huge of depth. Then we had 3 opt-outs. We had 1 not quit but got suspended indefinitely because of grades. And then some injuries with Storm Duck and who was the other one? Someone else did, but who knows? But looking forward, who's the most impactful from this class? That's tough. I want to say offensive linemen, but with 2022 and who we're hopefully getting in the 2022 class, I don't know if these offensive linemen are going to be the most impactful out of this class. I would still say probably, I think it's the linebackers. I think once 2022 comes in, I think these linebackers are going to show out. Eugene's going to have his senior year, and then you got the 2 linebackers coming in. Unless Gemmel comes back again, and then you have 4 linebackers, I don't know. But I think Ra is going to be a fantastic future. Power, I have some great feelings about Power, but I still don't know for sure whether or not Power can be a fantastic like NFL prospect. Is what I'm looking at, like future what rounds they could go in, whether or not maybe they don't even show up for UNC. You know, who can be a bust, but people I assume aren't going to be bust and will have great futures in the program. Like I said, Ra. I think, who else? I'm not going to count Tony because Tony's already been in there. I know everyone wants to say this is Tony's class technically, but I'm not going to count Tony. I already think Tony's going to be great, but for the future, I mean, Ritzy will probably become big one day. I don't think he's going to be plugged in day one, but I think Ritzy will be great coming in 2022 and 2023. Just the defensive line in general has so many future just NFL talent. Who's going to stand out? Who's going to show is hard to say because there's a ton of them, and you're so happy to have so many defensive linemen to praise about and be hopeful about. So it's hard to say which one's going to stand out, but I mean, I think we're going to see a lot from Murphy, Bingley, and Silvers at least in the future for sure. Who knows which one's going to stand out the most on the defensive line. But that's my point is Silvers and Ritzy. Ritzy might have to take a while before he becomes, you know, the starter / the NFL prospect that he may become eventually. And I may be wrong. Ritzy may be the guy who starts day one. Who knows? There's just so many defensive linemen that it's hard to say. The safety is hard to say because who knows who's going to play next year, because JQ could go back to being a safety. Roseman Sinclair, is he going to show up? Don Chapman may just take the next step up because he already was looking decent. So I'm not sure. The future is bright. Our defense looks loaded. Whether or not it's actually loaded and we have to sift through the busts, who knows? But if we don't have any issues with these 2021 recruits and they all, you know, mature into what we need them to mature, then going forward with the 2022 class, you're probably looking at, which we already are, and our recruiting is absolutely fantastic, and I have no doubts that they know what they're doing because they're already going for offensive linemen heavy. They already got a CB and a wide receiver. So going heavy at offensive linemen, perfect. If we get Zach Rice, I don't know about Gunnar Gibbons. We're in his like top 8, I think. So if we can get both 5-star linemen, then, you know, we're probably, which we already got that other lineman that may commit to us. What is it? The 21st. By the time I get this up, he might have already committed. Who knows? I think it's like Travion Green. Yeah, that sounds right. Just a 3-star, but you never can have enough offensive linemen coming in. Because I mean, our offensive line needs to step up too. The defensive line was just, you know, the big get. So now we're going off of top offensive line for the future. So that when we have so many people coming back. We're eventually going to lose a bunch of people that have been starting for a very long time. So we need top offensive linemen coming in 2022. So I love it. 2022 offensive line. I would say safety. I mean, I don't know if we're going after top safeties, but I would say linemen, offensive linemen, safety is what we really need to go at. And I would say we're already pointing at a running back, and he looks fantastic. So we may not need to really put so much effort into running back because it looks like we already got one. Honestly, it's hard. It honestly looks like we're already doing what we need to do for the 2022 class. I think we just need to add a whole bunch of more people with depth. Get a quarterback in there. We'll probably have just one running back in this class. I would say go heavy on secondary again. And then obviously a few pieces here and there. It sounds like, again, our top guys we're going to go for is offensive line, Zach Rice, Gunnar Givens. Then I don't know who the top safeties are. I know we got the one that's Tayon's wide receiver. Tayon Holloway is the CB, and then the wide receiver is the other one. So, yeah, we're probably going to be going for a top safety, hopefully. Maybe just more DB cornerback guys who can probably do both. So, the future looks great in recruiting. I didn't think about this. Bryson Nesbitt is already a high-end tight end. He looks fantastic. Probably didn't get enough respect in his recruiting ranking, but that's mostly because he didn't really show up to a lot of high-end recruiting camps. Because when he did go to his second high-end recruiting, he got pushed up pretty high from a 3 to a 4. Low 4, but 4 nonetheless. I think the biggest thing going forward is getting those specific guys Jay Bateman needs for defense. I had doubts about Phil Longo, coming out of year 1, but year 2, yeah, there's still some doubts with his play calling, but overall, can you be mad about his play calling? No. The offensive line and our wide receivers need to step up going forward. And I think with Josh Downs coming in, probably going to have a full-time job with Emory, and I'm talking about the future, we got Bo and Garrett, I love Garrett. I hope he gets a ton of reps next year. Not reps, but like passes actually thrown to him. I think he could be a great 600-yard tight end next year. I just wish we go full air raid next year with the similar running scheme, but I don't know who our running back's going to be, if it's DJ Jones, Ty Chandler, what we're going to do there, but I assume that it's going to be what we saw in the Texas A&M game, which was more air raid. Can you tell me, can you count on your hand and run out of fingers of how many times we went no running back and just full 5 wide receiver set? Not 5 wide receiver, but 5 eligible receivers all lined up on the next to the line. Did we have a single play, not a single play, but multiple plays where we didn't have a running back in the backfield? I can tell you, hail to the no. It was like a shocker when I saw that 5 receiver set, no running back in Texas A&M game. I got so giddy. And I know he likes it because it's he loves running backs that can block for blitz. You know, if you don't have a running back to help, sometimes a linebacker can just sneak through and just mollywop a quarterback. So I understand why he likes running backs back there, but I just want to see more air raid in general, even if it is with a running back in the backfield. I'm not saying I want air raid to only be 0 in the backfield type plays. So I think he would. Plus, also we had 2 running backs that are second, third round picks. So he had to use them the way he did. I mean, I am totally fine with what he did last year. I do wish he threw a little more here and there, but especially threw more on first downs going forward. I think he'll be fine. I think Phil will mature more and know what he needs to do. Honestly, plus he's also restricted with Jay Bateman, and it's not Jay Bateman's fault. Jay Bateman's been doing great for what he has. He turned in a horrible defense that lost almost every single game to, we can actually finally stop the run somewhat, and that's what he's great at, is stopping the run. So if Dre Bly can handle the secondary and Jay Bateman can fix the front end run game, you're going to see a spectacular year next year. I mean, I'll probably wait till another video to really talk about the future, but with everything that Jay Bateman is getting coming back with that front 7, I think you're going to see more Dre Bly's boys, just because if we're stopping the run a ton, you're going to see a lot more passing, especially if we're getting up on top of these guys. If we're already getting up 2 scores, then these guys are going to have to throw more, which is then just, it's going to help us out a whole lot more if Dre Bly's got, all of our, cornerbacks, yes, but our safeties, because Jay Bateman is a safeties coach. I hope everyone knows that. That's his specialty. You wouldn't think so with the fact that he's always had top run defenses, but yes, he's a safeties coach. So if Dre Bly and Jay Bateman can get these safeties and cornerbacks, with the way that Jay Bateman is fantastic with run defense, I think it's going to look a whole lot better next year. Even if we don't have great offense, this young defense is going to help out a ton going forward. It's just how our offense is going to do. I think, again, like I said, I think we're going to have a great offense. It just may not be the same as last year. It may be more air raid, less chewing out the clock type thing, which is what we're capable of doing with hopefully the new defense coming in. But with that, I am done with the recruiting class and what it could look like in our future. I'll probably try to bring out another video here soon with maybe specific offense, defense. But I'm probably going to have a bunch of videos of what my opinion of the future could be. Maybe start putting out predictions, hopefully, here soon. But yeah, I love recruiting, so you might see a lot of recruiting videos here too, especially if we get some 2022 commits coming in. I'm going to want to talk about them. I even may come out with a more in-depth of what our 2020 recruiting will look like, even if we don't have any commits. If I actually might just come out with one if the guy commits on the 21st, I think. If he comes out with a commitment, I may talk about who he is. I'll have to look into him more, but who he is, what he is, helpful, and then what we might go with going forward. So with that, thanks for tuning in to the Tar Heel Herald. That is the 2021 recruiting class in the future. Tune in next time. Thank you.